without further ado, I'd like to present the Mayor of Richmond for your viewing pleasure.
Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here and tell you about what's going on in the city of Richmond. As you know, at the last city council meeting, we passed um, a budget, uh, and we fully funded all 56 city infrastructure projects for this year. There were many of them that were short in terms of being completely funded. So we used our surplus funds to cover that. So now they are all being funded. So it was a very good year for surplus funds. We had over 14 million to help us out, and the list of structures or list of projects, include parks, soccer fields, improved traffic and pedestrian safety, upgraded community centers, and the library. So the library will be one of our major projects this year. Well, in the coming years. So we had the Borman Park revitalization, and that's where the soccer fields would be built. We put over almost $2 million towards the central interchange. It's the second phase of that. We also did a major Terminal 4 wharf removal. It's really the Terminal 4 wharf was actually the largest abandoned wharf in the bay. So all of the piers have been taken out, and the next phase will be revitalization of the shoreline. So we're trying to make it friendly for eelgrass and other sea life, bay life that was impacted by the wharf. I've been focusing on the port. I've been trying to reimagine the port. I want to bring it back as an economic powerhouse for our city. I think the port has been underutilized, and it's also been ignored. What I want to do is to electrify the port, and to move things forward. We finally got a new port director, Charles Gerard. And I've been working on finding new uses for the port, and there is a new economy coming to the West Coast, and that's the offshore wind. As you probably know, the federal government sold 3 contracts to offshore wind companies. The only problem is that there is no infrastructure to do this. And so the federal government and the state government are trying to work out a way to make it happen. When it first started out, the Port of Richmond wasn't even considered. And so through a lot of footwork and attending conferences, Richmond is now recognized as one of the better places for part of this economy. I would like to focus on shipbuilding. This new wind power economy, offshore wind, will require specialty ships, and those specialty ships will need to be built somewhere. And the West Coast really doesn't have much of a shipbuilding capacity. There's some shipbuilding in San Diego, but elsewhere it's non-existent. So I'm looking to see how Richmond can become that. in this offshore wind. We had the California Energy Commission come to the port, check us out, and they were really amazed at all of the infrastructure that we have. One thing that is in our favor is that none of the ports are ready for this new economy. So all of the ports will need equal attention in terms of making the ports ready for it. We're also interested in workforce development. You know, Richmond Contra Costa has been a blue-collar community, and we have a lot of people who could be ready for this new economy. We took a trip to Joshan, our sister city, and one of the things that we did when we went there was to look at their Maritime Academy. They have a well-established Maritime Academy, and we went there to see what it would take in order to have an academy here in Richmond. In our conversations, the Joshan Maritime Academy, our university, was interested in starting a maritime school in Contra Costa County College. So we will be talking with Contra Costa College and connecting them with the Joshan Maritime University to see whether or not we can start workforce development in a maritime business here to help us move forward with our new reimagined port. I also want to say that we've tried very hard to staff our boards and commissions. And so as neighborhood council memberships, a way you can serve the city is to advertise those positions. Some of the key vacancies, as you can see, are planning, community police review, arts and culture, personnel, and there's more. But those four are the more important at this point. So once again, planning, community police review, arts and culture, and the personnel board. So you can reach out to my office, and I will respond. When I first started out in January, I was asked to do a state of the city, but it was difficult for me to figure out what I would be talking about, since the state of the city was in the hands of the administration before me. And I thought that it would be better to do it at the end of the year so that I could actually talk about what I've accomplished as opposed to where the city was. And so I will do a State of the City December the 19th. And so we have I have a website, mayoreduardo.com, which has email updates. I also have an Instagram account, which you can find out more about what I do. And then, of course, the city manager's report is a fantastic source of information. It really lays out everything that the city is doing. And you can sign up for the city manager's report at the bottom of the city website. I included a QRL code so that you can sign up at my website. So, you guys know how to use these, right? Just stick your camera up, and it will show a link, and you click on the link, and it takes you to the website so you can sign up. Anyway, there's so much going on in the city, and I want to take my hat off to the personnel department, who has done a lot of hiring. We have a lot of brand new personnel, and not just brand new personnel, but very qualified personnel. I went to Public Works conference that was here in the Richmond auditorium. It was the first one here in the city of Richmond before the pandemic. They were here every year. The pandemic hit. So for 2 years, they didn't have it. And then the first one after the pandemic was held in Alameda, but our new Public Works Director, Daniel Chevarria, brought it back to Richmond. I was the first mayor to attend and do a speech at this conference. So I hope that it will continue to be a tradition to highlight the city of Richmond and what we're doing. I was also impressed with our Public Works Director ability to promote the city during the conference. There were a lot of people from other cities, and I sat with him and someone from a director from another city, and he really did a good job of promoting Richmond. So hopefully we'll be able to borrow some employees from other cities. So that's pretty much it for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yes, could you raise your hands if you have any questions, and we'll call on you? It can't be that easy. Oh, Lori.
Again, good evening, Mayor. I saw that the second item on the list that you put up was about ADA and curb compliance. And I sincerely hope Rochester is somewhere up in that scope of things as far as ADA and compliance.
Let's see. ADA and compliance. That's
Yeah, it was the second one on your list. It was Americans with Disabilities Miscellaneous Sidewalks Rehab. Oh,
that was okay, I'm trying to, oh, I see, okay. What's the item number?
2. It's the second one.
Okay, so, yeah, that came, that was already fully funded, but I'm not sure where the projects are exactly. But I do know that there is a list of priorities, and I can find out exactly where that is, and I can get back to you.
Thank you. I'll drop my information into Shiva,
okay,
and she can get back with me.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, Rochester Village is actually one of my priority spots. Rochester Village, Shields Reed. When I was a council member, I spent a lot of time in those areas, and I worked with Carla Orozco Neighborhood House with Shields Reed. And so, you know, because of the green fairs that you had there, I have a special place in my heart for those neighborhoods.
Thank you. We're expecting a lot from you this year. Thank you.
Yeah. Ditto on that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we have a special place in our heart for you today.
I see Rock's hand is up, but there was Lynn had her hand up. I think there you go.
I have a question about the Maritime Academy, because there's one in Vallejo already, which is the California Maritime Academy. Wouldn't you be better off working with them and doing something about that?
The Maritime Academy in Vallejo is mostly focused on the Coast Guard. And
no, it's the California Academy, and it's not just the Coast Guard. And so why would we duplicate what's already been done?
Well, it's because it hasn't been done enough. I have had conversations with them, and I've talked to them about setting up something in Richmond. We had conversations around where to put it, and they did show interest in Terminal 4, but at that time Terminal 4 was in no state for an academy, mainly because of the derelict wharfs.
Okay, I see, Rock, you have your hand up?
Oh yeah, thank you, Ardo, and I hope I can get this thing down. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the thing down, and I'm not good with these computers. Eduardo, I apologize. I haven't seen you in a while. Apologize. I came in late to the meeting, so when I ask my question, if it's something repetitive, I'll try to make it short and sweet. I just was curious, and I actually asked the last mayor this before you when they came into office, and I was asked. I know that we want small businesses. I love small businesses, especially on San Pablo Avenue and different places and little growth, but have we had any type of attraction, whether it's the downtown area, the big grant, or just any larger businesses? Like San Francisco's got a cleanup going on now, and the East Bay's grown a lot, and around us things are growing, and Richmond's always had a lot of talk. When I say growth, I just mean any big business, rather large businesses that are attractive, that you might have raised an eyebrow over, looked at us.
I'm not really sure what the thrust of your question is. Are you asking?
Has any large businesses shown attraction towards Richmond while you've been in the seat?
They haven't spoken to me. If there has been an interest, I'll say that much. But I am focused on economic development. Something that I would like to do is for us to reconsider our city plan and to create what I consider a neighborhood commercial nodes, where every neighborhood has an area where they can have small businesses that people can walk to, for coffee shops, things like that. Kind of like the Calusa Circle or Kensington.
I get you, kind of like Europe. A lot of Europe has that. I do a little bit of traveling. I got you. I was just curious, and I like the small businesses too, like Berkeley. But I was just curious if any of the large businesses has shown attraction over to Richmond, because it's been so many years. That's okay. I don't want to dominate. Thank you, thank you, Ardo.
Well, we have a lot of startups that are becoming large businesses, like Moxion.
Okay.
Moxion came to Richmond, and they're actually expanding.
Thank you.
Garland.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you mentioned that $2 million was earmarked towards the Central Avenue project. I was wondering if the county is now going to throw in money to that project, because it seems like they've kind of abandoned the concept. And the other thing is, the academy up at Vallejo is a Cal State level Maritime Academy. That's the only one on the West Coast. There's one also on the East Coast. And people go there for commercial, they go there for military. There's all kinds of level of people that go through that, and it's highly regarded and in one of the higher level academies within, well, it's the only one on the West Coast.
Okay, thank you.
Cordell.
Yes, hello, Eduardo.
Hello, Cordell.
Yes, so the only question that I had was, I don't know if it was mentioned about, is your office considering doing doing like a business roundtable, kind of like what the previous mayor has done, like, you know, like talk to like invite some of the businesses to the roundtable and just to talk about their businesses? Is there any plans for that?
I actually haven't considered doing that. I don't want to waste people's times. I don't want to waste people's time, and unless I can come up with a useful um, uh, uh, concept, you know, where it actually moves businesses forward. I will just wait until I can come up with something that will move us forward.
Okay. I have a couple questions. One of them is I was wondering if you can elaborate on the mayor's conference with the various cities. You meet monthly.
Yeah. Truthfully, the ones that I've been to are basically information sharing. You know, they have presentations from various organizations, and in terms of being legislative and creating new ideas, I haven't seen it. It's basically been information sharing and networking. So I believe that there's importance in networking, but you know, and that's basically why I go to them.
Okay. And then you were mentioned the commissions and boards. I was just wondering, has anyone talked to you about the Reimagining Task Force sunsetting?
No, that's not been a conversation.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming. If anybody else has any...
I see Dorothea has her hand up.
Thank
Dorothy?
you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know if we're supposed to stick to the script as far as what you've discussed, but you were talking about the boards and commissions, and this is top of my mind because it's making me out of my head from the time I walked in the door. Is there any sort of task force or group that you would consider to talk about the quality of life in our city? I know compared with a lot of other larger cities, we're doing probably a lot better than Oakland, much better than San Francisco, but just generalized things that I think contribute to the quality of life for our citizens. It just feels like that's kind of gone by the wayside as far as just even common courtesy and manners. I haven't been able to think straight since I got here because one block over, somebody's having a really loud music festival. I'm pretty sure they don't have a permit for it. I can't really back out of my driveway good because somebody's got a truck full of garbage parked there. I can see, but hopefully no one will hit me when I back out. And I just think that there's maybe room for thinking outside the box of a group of citizens that you could maybe convene that could talk about people kind of living within the parameters of the law. I know we don't have a lot of police officers, and I know we don't have, you know, a lot of resources, but just something that would make, you know, for all of us, just a little bit better quality of life.
Now, you know, when I was in Portland, Oregon, I was parking my car, and I was trying to figure out how to work the parking meter, and this woman with a orange vest came over and introduced herself, and she said that she was part of the hospitality crew, and they were there to help people, you know, resolve any issues that they might have. When we were thinking of hiring more police for BART, I was thinking, you know, if we change the tone of that, and instead of having police, we could have police, but advertise the police as hospitality helpers, and I think it's all a matter of perception and education. I was having a conversation with Daniel Chavarria about traffic safety education. And he's come up with this idea to have a campaign where the city prints signs, telling people to, drive as if your children live here, and those cities would be given out for free to community members who wanted to have them in their yard. So I think putting signs out that have positive messages that people can see is accepted by the entire city would also change the way people perceive Richmond and hopefully change the way that they drive.
Thank you. Jan, you've got the last question.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, in both Berkeley and Oakland, they have what they call ambassadors. And most of the time they're in the downtown area and they keep everything clean and take care of everything. So it's not, quite as bad as it could be. I work in Oakland. I used to work in Berkeley, so I know both of them. Oakland, I work downtown, so it's an interesting thing in life. One of the suggestions I might make about traffic is not to post that it's a four-way stop. Because if you tell someone it's a four-way stop, they presume the other people are stopping and they just go through them. They just painted a curb up here on 29th red. And every day that I've gone by, someone's been parked in that red zone like it's not important. So it has to be a very firm way to explain to these people, this is how we do things. This is the correct way to do things, as the city sees it's right. Because otherwise you're not going to change anybody. We have places where we have accidents over and over and over again. And one of them, you can't quite see the stop sign. And I don't know if that's the problem, but when you have an accident at 34th and McBride 4 times a year, 5 times a year, that's an issue. And, unless we put another stop sign, which no one's going to obey anyway, we really have to think outside of the box, way outside of the box. We've had people who have put the little kid sign on the street and, slow down, there's kids, and people still zoom past. So we really have to change how they think of Richmond.
Right. I'm 100% in agreement there. Well, thanks to all of you for sharing your thoughts and for having this conversation with me. And I want to apologize to Carlos for not recognizing him as our street maintenance person. I've had conversations with you, and my apologies.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, I've got a event at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I've got to sign off and take care of things before the morning.
Sweet dreams.
Okay,
Thank you for coming. And I'd like to say in closing that the mayor has some new resource guides at his office. If you have a neighborhood council meeting coming up, they're great to pass around. It's just chock full of information and contacts and phone numbers. So thanks again, and we'll see you next year.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
See you at the next city council meeting.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.